choice, everybody. It doesn't matter what day it is. It could be Monday, Wednesday, a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday, any day of the week. There's always a lot of breaking news. Come on. All right, the very first thing we'll talk about is, again, I feel like this never ends, is the Paramount deal right now, because of course, that whole 30-day window, it lapsed over the weekend, and now Paramount is able to negotiate with whoever they want. And of course, Sony's coming with Apollo with that $26 billion offer, and Paramount's going to start talking to them. So the whole thing is, they're still going to talk to Skydance, they're still going to have those conversations happening, but they're opening up communication to Sony, and of course they are, because that's a lot of cheddar, and they're just throwing on the table. And I have a feeling that if Skydance can't match that, I think that it might be going over to Sony, and they have that Sony Paramount combo coming in the future. We'll have to wait to see what happens, but it's on the table, everybody, and there's a chance it could be going down. So I'm interested to see what happens. I'm also to see what happens with P. Diddy, everybody, because he's trying to throw out his case right now. And, the whole thing is, we've been talking about P. Diddy way too much, I feel like. But there was this case back in November of, again, sexual assault from this girl when she was in college, and she's been suing him, and he's trying to get a bunch of it thrown out, saying that a lot of these regulations and these laws were in fact happening at that point, so she should not be able to actually sue him for these things. And also, all these companies didn't even exist at the time that she's actually suing him, saying that they were part of the whole alleged sexual assault allegations. But I think P. Diddy is just trying to figure it out and trying to get all this stuff thrown out, because he doesn't know what to do. I can't even imagine, he had to run, disappeared for a long time, and then he's just looking for a fall guy to take his spot. But fall guy, everybody, had quite the weekend. Not as good as we thought it would do. I think for a $130 million budget, you'd expect, to make, $60 million, something like that. Maybe $100 million just domestically, but overall, worldwide, it made $65 million bucks. So not amazing, not horrible. It's not making $8 million bucks. It's $65 million. So we'll have to wait to see how this goes. It's kind of on par with Bullet Train. That kind of made him up same amount its opening weekend for the amount of budget it was. So will it top it? Will it make its money back? People are saying right now it's like they expected to do so well because Ryan Gosling is such a star right now after basing off of how great he did in Barbie and how people have been just loving him so much. Of course, his SNL performance this past a couple weekends ago, people were saying it was one of the best ones in a long time. So will it happen? I don't know if it will do better. I hope it does. I didn't get a chance to see it. I hope to go see it again over this next week, and maybe during the week some point. We'll have to see. But Emily Blunt in that movie, though, she's talking about her acting beyond Fall Guy, because she's talking about how it was been hard making out with co-stars, and as an actor, she said it's been disgusting and gross at times, and she's gotten through it. She's been able to battle through. She said she's a professional, and she also said that she could have chemistry with the water bottle if she wanted to. But they were asked if it was disgusting before. She's like, yeah, it's been definitely disgusting. She said, absolutely. I wouldn't say I'm extremely loathing it when I make out people that I don't want to, but it does help when there's a certain amount of chemistry and rapport with that person through the years. So it's interesting. That's actors. Talk about Anne Hathaway before, when she was saying too that she was having to make out with all these guys before. It's really unfortunate. It's like, you should just know. They call them chemistry reads, but sometimes it's another huge win for Ryan Gosling. Well, hopefully it is, but Ryan Gosling also says that he will not do dark movies anymore too. On top of that, he's just saying that, guys, he's done it was Place Before the Pines or Place Between the Pines, that movie. He's done a lot of stuff where he was very gritty, very raw, and great in these roles. But he's saying now with the family, he's got to think about them first. And sometimes he goes too dark and too deep of a spot to actually get out of it and come home and be happy with his family. So he said he's backing off those performances and doing more happy, fun stuff. And of course, La La Land did so well for him. And look at Barbie right now, did great for him. So maybe he doesn't need these dark and, depressing and dirty, gritty movies. I mean, I still love him to see him do that. I think it's always awesome to see how versatile an actor can be, but he said it's not for him anymore.
Where? Really? You gotta be kidding.
I know, Lexi.
What is, you don't want to stand there and stare at a wall like a fucking doll?
No,
I'm sorry.
No. He wants.
Seriously? Don't worry, you're not very good at them anyway. Nobody wants you for them. Fuck off.
Maybe that's what it is too. It could be, Lexi, and he's just making this as an excuse. I don't know.
I'm like, he's never been a very good actor to me to begin with, and then he's like, I don't want to do those. So it's like, good, don't do them. You're not good at them anyway. Barbie was your best role I've ever seen you do. Period. And, seriously, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just you gotta fucking believe it. Shut up. And then you go, what do you go and do? You do a romantic comedy, and it did a poor serving. So
Yeah. And this is a
I don't
pretty big
know.
budget for romantic comedy too.
Your darker films do much better. Just
Yeah.
saying. I don't
Maybe he
know what
doesn't
to
care
say
about the
on
money.
that.
Doesn't care about the money, Lexi. Doesn't care. He's like, my family. And I get having a family dynamic you're trying to worry about. Then again, you're an actor. You're an
Yeah,
actor.
it's not about the money, but it's like, and then you know what they do? They go, "Oh, I'm not going to do this anymore," and then they get bored and they go do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
This
then,
is what they
yeah,
all do.
it's like when they say they're going to retire and they don't
Oh,
retire
I'm going to
too. You're like,
retire. Yeah, I know you're not. Someone's going to give you a movie at some point. You're going to come back. The ones who say like they're going to retire that actually do, I'm like, I'm always so impressed when they actually do. It's like Rick Moranis. Like Rick Moranis is the only one who ever went through with it. It's like
I love him too. I
I'm
wish
like,
he'd
yeah,
went
it's like,
retired.
we want you to come back. It's like, nope, I went through with it. It's like, well, only you could be like Rick Moranis. I'm like,
And he's in his 70s now and he hasn't come back. He's stuck to his guns. He
Jet
just
Li,
has.
I'm retiring. It's like 1 month later, he's right back. I'm like, of course you are, you motherfucker. I'm like, forget it.
Well,
Like,
I got to tell you, though, one person that probably should retire but hasn't is Russell Crowe. And Russell Crowe is coming back to the Pope, too. I think Russell Crowe's been a phenomenal actor for a long time, but I do think that he is kind of, fallen off a little bit. The Pope won. The Pope's Exorcist did very well. And so they're going to do another one. They were planning it back 2023, trying to make it happen. It was officially announced just like yesterday. They're going to move forward and make the Pope's Exorcist 2. So if you were a fan of that, you're going to see him do it. And the movie wasn't horrible, but again, Russell Crowe just keeps getting more and more jobs like this. It's just, I don't know. I think he just needs to figure out something else. I wish he could have gone back to Gladiator, but those days are way beyond him. And he died in the first movie. So it doesn't really matter. Spoiler alert. But thinking about dying, a lot of people die in the Scream franchise, and the Scream franchise is coming forward. And Neve Campbell was talking about how her price increase actually happened, and that's why she's back. That she got a strong offer, and that's why she returned. Of course, she had blasted the studio before, about after 25 years working for this franchise, that she should have gotten a lot more bigger pay increase to coming back to it because she was a big part of what made it successful. And the studio gave her a lowball kind of offer for the 6th movie, but for the 7th movie, they came in strong. She said she's very happy. She said she's grateful to the studio that heard me when I talked about pay discrepancy, and she was saying if she was, a different kind of actor, she's a male actor for a franchise for 25 years, wouldn't happen. She put that out there too, and who knows? It could be, but also I think if you are like a backbone of a franchise, pay them. You're making a lot of money, and these movies are not going to stop. I don't know. People love the Scream movies, but people also love White Lotus, and I do too. I'm so about White Lotus. There's a lot of death in there too. And the next season they're saying, which I think is hilarious. I've been reading about there's like the next season is about death. And I'm like, aren't all these seasons about death? Like, doesn't it about somebody dies? We try to find out what's happening. I'm like, well, no. First season was about it was all about like pretty much making fun of rich people, or just, a satire about rich people and their troubles. But one of the actors came forward, Carrie Coon, and she was talking about this. She said, well, the first one is about money, and the second season is more about sex, which I can kind of see. And the third season is like really diving into the death. So, I mean, is that going to be more of a horror base? Probably not. It'll probably be very similar, but I love what they do with this franchise. I hope that it's just going to be amazing. I know it will. I know like a lot of people were super stoked to see where it goes. So I'm down whatever's going to be. And that's a huge Six Festival TV show, just like Night Court. Night Court is coming back for one more season. And of course they are. This show is not going to stop for a long time. I think they got a win here. Only was to try to figure out how many episodes they actually shoot for this next season. That was a big holdup for the announcement. They're going with 18 episodes. So get ready for, which are shooting season 2, get ready for season 3 on top of this, because it won't stop. Unlike Wonder Woman that hit the can, even though it was a $1 billion franchise, that's what Chris Pine came forward and said. He said he was just shocked that they weren't doing more. And he said Steve Trevor couldn't come back because he was already dead in the second one and came back again. So like, why would he come back again after that? But still shocked. And I'm kind of, shocked about it too, because then Gal Gadot was one of the best versions of the best members of the Justice League. But still, what do you do? These movies are done. They're rebooting everything. You can't have these people anymore. You got to recast. James Gunn's going to know. We'll talk about that later. I'm not as excited about that as I'm excited about Tron Ares, which is officially wrapped production. And I'm super stoked to see this, but I'm also kind of upset they just wrapped, because I just heard talk about last week that Jeff Bridges was coming back. Would he shoot for like one day and he's done? Guys, he's like, I'm gonna start shooting on Saturday. Now it's like Monday, and we're like, guys, well, it's wrapped. So I guess he shot a one and done day, and that's it. And whatever. Kevin Flynn doesn't do that big a part of it. But
he did his part. At least he's in it.
They're just gonna AI him in.
Yeah, he just went and scanned his face, said a few lines.
He's gonna say, "What if we could be inside a computer?"
The grid. And he was done. A lot of breaking news, everybody. A lot of breaking news.
Just stare
I know
into the camera and just say Tron.
Tron
That's
is
all he
back.
does.
He's like Jared
I
Leto.
love this
Jared
news.
Leto.
I love it.
Right, Pepe? It's good stuff. Pepe loves Tron too. He's a big Tronaholic, so he's all about it. We're gonna be there day one. And Lexi, you have to join us maybe. Rachel, if you should come too. I know you're not as crazy about it as Lexi is, but I want to see
rode
it.
the
Tron
ride
Aries.
in Florida.
Was it
I'm
good?
so jealous
Yeah,
that I
literally,
get to
it was a
ride that
really fun
yet.
ride.
Oh, I saw like
desperately want
videos
to.
of it. Looked really exciting.
You know, I need that.
I really-
in my life. That's like the one ride I want to go on.
It's so good.
Like, fuck yeah. It's a light cycle. Hell yes. And I want merch. I'm like, there better be some fucking merch there. I'm like, whatever there is. I'm like, I want some Tron shit. Like, you know how
Right.
hard just to get some Tron merch? Tron
want a
merch is like
disc.
impossible. Exactly. I want anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, Tron
Give me a
merch
disc
is
and
impossible to
Put my
get.
back. Throw
I'm
at people.
give me
It's like a
some Tron
boomerang.
merch. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll take what I can get. I'm like, Tron it up. Like, hook me up. Let's go.